Hello transcribers, and welcome to our channel of transcription exercises. Today we'll do 10 more noisy proverbs. So you'll hear proverbs with decreasing levels of background noise, and your task is to make out the proverb at the earliest possible opportunity. And just for fun, I'll be telling you the equivalent of those proverbs in some other languages, because they can be quite interesting in other languages. Before that, a quick word from our sponsor, the FTW Transcriber, about just one of its features. Tired of typing timestamps manually? Say goodbye to all that with the FTW Transcriber's automated timestamps. As well as pressing F9 to add a timestamp manually, you can set timestamps to be added automatically at the start of every paragraph or at regular intervals. There are other tools to fine-tune the automated timestamps based on your typing style. Huge time saver. So on the next screen you'll hear a proverb spoken 4 times with decreasing levels of background noise, and it'll be hard, although not impossible, to make out the proverb at the first hearing, but try to do so on the second or third hearing. And this will be a lot easier for you if you have good quality audio equipment. Obviously you can stop the video at any time and listen again if you want. In YouTube, just press the left arrow key to go back a few seconds. So here we go, listen carefully for the proverb. So that's pretty tricky, but it is just about possible to make that proverb out. On the screen you can see that the proverb has been mostly obscured, but there's a few letters there to give you a clue. And then the picture will also be a clue in each case as well. Let's listen to that one a second time, taking the background noise down a bit.
Actions speak louder than words.
And a third time, taking it down still more.
Actions speak louder than words.
Is it getting any easier now that you can see more of the words there? And here is the answer.
Actions speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder than words. And what does that mean? It means it's about what you do, not what you say. So let's have that in another language. Then in Italian, they say between saying and doing, there's the C. In other words, there's a huge gap between saying something and doing it. Okay, number 2. Listen really carefully for the proverb.
The early bird catches the worm.
There's some help on the screen for you again. And the picture is a clue. A second time, taking the background noise down a bit.
The early bird catches the worm.
And a third time.
The early bird catches the worm.
And here is the answer.
The early bird catches the worm.
The early bird catches the worm. What does that mean? Something like acting early gives you an advantage. And let's have that in another language. In German, they say morning hour has gold in its mouth, which is rather more poetic than the way that we say it in English about worms. Number 3, listen really carefully for the proverb. Again, the picture is a clue. Which city is that? Let's have it a second time.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
And a third time.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
And here's the answer.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do. And what does that mean? Adapt yourself to the place that you're in. And how did they say that in Arabic? They say, when you enter the land of the blind, turn off your light, so that you're like the people who are there. Number 4, listen carefully for the proverb.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
And again.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
And a third time.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
And here's the answer.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining, which means even bad situations can have a positive side. And let's have that in Indonesian. You must be impressed that I can speak all of these languages. There is wisdom behind every disaster. That's what they say. In other words, you can learn from every bad experience. Number 5, listen carefully for the proverb.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
And again.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
And once more.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
And here's the answer.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I bet when you saw the picture you thought it was going to be not counting your chickens before they're hatched. But no, it's don't put all your eggs in one basket, which means don't risk everything on a single plan or investment. And how do they say that in Korean? They say, don't dig only one well. Very good advice in life. Number 6, listen carefully for the proverb.
Beggars can't be choosers.
And again.
Beggars can't be choosers.
And a third time.
Beggars can't be choosers.
And here's the answer.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Beggars can't be choosers, which means when you're dependent on others, you can't be picky. So how do they say that in Portuguese? They say, he who doesn't have a dog hunts with a cat. In other words, if you can't have the thing you want, you can have the thing which is second best. Number 7, listen for the proverb.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
And again.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
And again.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
And here's the answer.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
The grass is always greener on the other side, which means people always think that others have it better. And how did they say that in Chinese? They say other people's moon is always rounder. Very sweet. Number 8, listen carefully for the proverb.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
And again.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
And a third time.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
And here's the answer.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Necessity is the mother of invention, which means urgent needs inspire creative solutions. If you have a need for something, then you'll think of a way to solve it. And how do they say that in Zulu? A problem is a lesson in life. In other words, whatever problem happens to you, you can turn it to your advantage. To be honest, I don't actually speak Zulu. This is all courtesy of the internet. Number 9, listen carefully for the proverb.
Birds of a feather flock together.
And again.
Birds of a feather flock together.
And again.
Birds of a feather flock together.
And here's the answer.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together, which means people with similar interests tend to stick together. And let's have that in Finnish, shall we? Birds sing on the same branch. That's how they say it in Finland. And lastly, number 10. Listen carefully for the proverb.
Out of sight, out of mind.
And a second time.
Out of sight, out of mind.
And a third time.
Out of sight, out of mind.
And here's the answer.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind, which means we forget what we don't see. If you can't see something, then you won't worry about it. And in Chinese, they say, what the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve. There, I hope you found that useful and fun. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell, and I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Bye for now.